Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg, wintry Winnipeg. It's back. It's back with a vengeance. Somebody was mentioning yesterday that we had what is known as a Colorado low move through. And I guess, it seems to me we had one in the spring too, but it was a lot worse than this. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit relieved this morning. And here's why I'm feeling relieved. I shouldn't be feeling relieved with all that snow I got to deal with out in the front there. It's been worse. But the reason I'm feeling relieved is because my daughter was arranging the family get-together today, and so I gave her a call about an hour ago. And I told her that I was, when the snowstorm hit last night, I was starting to feel really uptight about, driving to the place we wanted to go, and I just said I just assumed not, and so she forgave me. And the bottom line is, I don't have to go out this afternoon. And as strange as that may sound, it's a relief. Now I remember with my mother years ago. I was asking her, would you like to do this or would you like to do that? And this was all things that would have been really fun for me to have done back when I was like 40 years old. And but she was my age at that time, and she just didn't want to do it. And I had a hard time understanding that. But now I understand. I just don't want to go out when it's like this. I don't have proper footwear. Like I know that I can put on my big old, what I call overshoes, and they go, and because my feet are so swollen, I can't get into ordinary snow boots. So I put these overshoes on, but my feet get really cold in them really fast. Partly because the circulation's so bad. But you don't need to know all these medical problems of mine. I don't know why I keep telling you. Anyway, it's either that or go out in my slippers. So I'm probably going to be out there, well, either in my overshoes or my slippers later today, trying to get the snow from around my door. And it's not too bad around my door, but believe it or not, next door at my neighbor's house, I looked out the window, and it may not look at it from the picture I'm going to show you, but it's about, I'm guessing 18 inches deep, right in front of his door. He can't even open his door. Now, he doesn't need to worry about that. He's in Mexico. Lucky guy. Okay, now, more good news. I did come back to the model table last night, and I spent quite a bit of time here. And we've got a rather an extensive rollback. And you'll see how I got to this place. It's there's a lot of bumbling along, trying to get some of these little tiny parts in the right place. And I did get that piece of photo etch on. You'll see how I did that. Let's roll back and see how we got to this place, and then we'll continue on. Okay, you can see the groove in the pulley where the photo etch cable is supposed to go, but then you'll notice that there's a seam line on both sides of it, and it doesn't matter which way I put the photo etch, it's going to be, that little seam is going to get in the way and hold it out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and remove one of those seams, or make at least a little notch right there. It's going to be quite hard to hold onto the pulley without it pinging out of the tweezers, and just sort of round over the top, and then take my number 11 blade and just notch in a little bit there where you can see where that seam is. At least that's the plan. We'll take a look at it afterwards and see, if I made it worse or better, or maybe lost it all together to the carpet. Who knows? Okay, so here's the side where we can clearly see that the seam is still there. I didn't do anything with it. But the other side, I've flattened it down and I used a file. It's a little bit ragged in there. Maybe I could do a little bit more. But generally when I try to improve on something really tiny like that, I end up going too deep and sanding it away. Let's just see if we can get the piece of photo etch in there and loop it around on the side that has the the modification, and then we won't worry about the other side. No one's going to notice that it's not the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, let's just give it a whirl and see what we can do here. Okay, I was going to try and reposition, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to see if I can't just hook it over and just sort of spread it a little bit with the tweezers. I don't want to bend it out of shape. I want it to kind of sort of slip down and not too far. I'm going to have to just push this, see if I can hold it down with my finger. Just get that down. Is it in the slot? I think it's in the slot on this side, but it's not on the other side. So I'm going to just turn it towards me so I can see. You know what? Maybe I do have it. No, I don't. It's not in on this side. Maybe if I was to come in with my flat tweezer like this, hold it down, and just pry it over. Okay, I do believe I've got it now. If I was to take now and hold it down somehow like this, and then if I could pull very, very gently, if I could just get underneath there and just... Okay, let me look at the monitor and see how that looks. Ah, it looks good. Okay, now I think I'm going to just put a little bit of CA extra thin quick setting on that. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to have to push stop here for a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to use the Bob Smith Industries Instacure here. I don't know if I should put a new applicator on it or maybe use a needle to just drop a little bit down on there. And as near as I can tell, I've got it on about as straight as we're going to get it. Now, I know you're looking at this bandage on my finger. Well, it's not like I got it too close to the blade or anything. I think I got myself a paper cut. Yeah. Don't know how else I could have done it. Anyway, let's put our macro lens back on and see what we can do. Okay, I'm going to want to get this now so it's going to be at the best angle for me, which is probably, being as I'm coming straight down from the top, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Alright, let's see what's going to happen here. Try and get a little bit on my applicator. I don't think any came off. Okay, I got it that time. I'm pretty sure I could see something. Okay, now the trick is going to be to get this into the crane without bending the cable and hook. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the trimming and sanding that we have to do on the crane itself, you know, like the boom part of it, before we put this in. Makes sense to me. So I'm just going to put this in a nice safe place right now. I don't know if I should leave it in the tweezer. No, I don't think so. I think I should just lay it down maybe in a tuna fish tin all by itself. I think that's the safest way to go. But we do have it. I can actually see that the CA has glued the cable into the groove. And if I can see it, I'm sure you can for sure. Now, the part that we just made that had the photo etch on it, it actually is going to go right in here. Okay, you can see we can spread this, and we should be able to get it in there. This one is supposed to go right here, but if you notice, these pieces are a little bit askew. They're like this, if you know what I mean. So that means that if the pin drops into the hole on each side like it's supposed to, the pulley is going to be at an angle. So it could be that in order to get it to look okay, we're going to have to nip one of the pegs off, you might say, and then just force it in, and then use a little bit of extra thin, maybe the quick setting, because we don't need to do a whole bunch of melding. Yeah, this piece here, it's not going to be fragile, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it though on camera. I should be able to. I'm going to give it a try. I know I keep saying that, and you probably think to yourselves, well, I'm probably just deliberately saying that, and I actually know I can. I don't know I can. No. Maybe what I'll do is I'll wedge something in there right now to spread it a little bit. Where's I'll find something. I'm going to have to push stop for a minute. Okay, I'm going to stop this when I get the angle just right for me. And the plan is I'm going to use this needle here to spread this apart. And then I'll take my tweezer here. Okay, now if I can lay the needle down and have it stay there like that, then I can manipulate this a little bit. Okay, I think I still got it. Wonder if I should be, whoops. It's elusive, maybe I should use the other tweezers and just grab it flat. Just let me push stop here and recompose a bit. Okay, we're back at it again. I'm going to have to turn it this way this time. Okay, now here is what I was talking about. You notice it's crooked, it's not straight. But I think if I was to take it back out of there and nip off one of the axles. On the other hand, let's see what can I maybe straighten it? Just let me see if I can wedge it over here. No, it doesn't want to go. So I'm going to just take it back out. Okay, and I'm going to cut off one of the pegs. I don't think it matters which one we cut off. Then we should be able to get it. We should be able to straighten it around, if you know what I mean. Now you know how I like to do things on camera, and this thing just lends itself perfectly for that. All right. There. I think that's going to go now. I can always take out the dead spots. Okay, I'm going to just swing this around now so that the angle is right for me. All right, now it is straight. Even though the flange that it is sitting in is crooked, I do believe that the pulley itself looks basically straight. All right, where's our, put a little bit of extra thin on it. Well, maybe we'll use the quick setting. Yeah, we don't need a whole lot of melding going on here. Now I know that looks like a lot, but that will evaporate. No, there is a chance when we actually go to force this thing apart for the other one, that we're going to break it loose on one side or the other, but at least the pulley isn't going to fall out. Yeah, that's at arm's length. It's going to look okay. It's got to go. Is it going to go together? Yeah, I think it'll go together okay. Sorry about my fingers here. Now, do you remember way back about 3 days ago we were nipping off parts off the sprues and we had a little piece called H24? Well, that's it. And it has to go on the underside of the crane. Let's get that out of there. Maybe I'll move it down. Put on my stronger glasses. And I do recall when I was looking at it after I nipped it off that I thought that, oh no, it disappeared. Okay, here we go. It's stuck to my tweezer. Now it is actually supposed to go in this hole here. Now, that is going to be so hard. I think what I'm going to have to do with it is, just let me grab a hold of it here. It is so small that I'm scared to hold on to it tight. That's the problem. Okay, there, I got it. Okay, now this part that I'm holding on to here, I think I'm going to have to make that a little shorter. And then we'll just drop this thing down the other way. And maybe we'll use the tiniest amount of... Yeah, I'm just going to have to turn the camera off and do this off camera because it's just too small here. Trying to get it to turn it over. There. Okay, now I just want to shorten this. It'd be nice if I could just shorten it just a little bit. Yeah, that kind of got it, didn't it? Kind of got it. All right, now let's see if we can put this the other way up. You know what? I got to back up. Our hole is no longer in focus. Oh. You know, I wonder if Tony's wax pencil might be the way to go here. Yeah, where's that thing? Should have thought of that before. Should have thought of that before. Now, maybe we'll get some, just let me, where's my extra thin here? Let's just put a little bit on there to soften that hole. Okay. Now we should be able to just drop this down in that. Oh, now don't touch it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. This is, mind you, this is the underside of the crane anyway. So if it's a little bit crooked, no one's going to see that thing anyway. But that's not the point. The point is I wanted to see if I could get it as good as possible. Now the larger piece that we got, it goes on the complete opposite side of this, so we'll have to turn the crane over somehow. I guess it doesn't matter where I put it. Oh, you know what? I'm noticing this block is moving around on me. I'm going to have to put more tape on here because I don't want it moving around when I'm got the macro lens on. I'm trying to pinpoint right onto those little holes there. Okay. Now you can see those two pegs are supposed to go in those two holes. And the two bumps that I just dropped, we'll get it, folks. Okay, like I started to say, the two bumps that I just dropped are pulleys. So I'm squeezing a little harder this time. Put a little on there. Just a little on there just to make sure that it's gonna. Okay, now I think this should release. I don't think it wicked itself up into the tweezer. Okay, just let me swing this around here. Oh no, it's gotta go that way a little bit. There, that looks better. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's let that dry. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but we've got a little bit of a snowstorm moving through here. And yeah, it's probably going to have a little bit of shoveling to do tomorrow because the wind is pretty strong, and even if we get just a little bit of snow, it'll drift. I'm going to call it quits here for this evening. Maybe I should take that rubber band off of the off of here though, just so that it's not under tension, if you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to be holding this down anymore. Yeah, this actually went pretty well, and the part with the photo etch on it, well, we're just going to leave that for the end. After this is done, after this is actually fastened to the base, which is where? Right here. That's probably going to be tomorrow morning. So yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is morning, and I just checked the tracking for our parcel that Purelator picked up. I think it was the day before yesterday, and it got delivered this morning. Yeah. Now, I didn't think they'd be doing anything on Remembrance Day, but I guess life goes on. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Purelator, I got a comment from a viewer who didn't know what Purelator was, and I thought, well, that's funny. I thought they were big like FedEx, so I Googled it myself. Turns out that Purelator is basically Canadian. Yeah, I guess because I was in Canada, I just happened to think they were everywhere, but they're not. They're not big like FedEx. Anyway, they sure did a good job. Yeah, delivered already. Now we'll see what happens. Are we going to get good news? I hope so. Okay. Now, some of you will have noticed that that delivery ended up at a place called Mississauga. And Mississauga, well, most people know about Toronto. And if you go to Mississauga, you're basically in Toronto. Now, Mississauga is its own city. I think they even have their own mayor and what have you. But my brother used to live in Mississauga, and I've been there more than once. Now, yeah, it's part of what's called the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. I think that most people consider, unless you live in Mississauga, you would consider Mississauga Toronto. Now, very carefully here. Oh, another thing. As I was setting up to take this shot here, I was just about ready to press record, and I see a Amazon truck pull across the front of the house here. And he stops, and he has a couple of parcels in his hand, and he goes to the place next door. Not to my neighbor who's gone to Mexico, but the other one on the other side. So I'm thinking, okay, because I knew we weren't expecting our Sharps box until Sunday. Well, don't you know, about a minute later, he's cutting across in front of the windows, trudging through the snow, and it's our Sharps box. So we'll take a look at that later.
I wasn't expecting this till Sunday. Thank you. Sorry about the snow.
Okay, have I poked at this enough? Let's see if we can get this hinge to fit right in right here where it's supposed to. Then we've got to find another little piece of photo etch. I'll probably have to very carefully do this off camera so that I don't accidentally break something. Okay, this doesn't hinge the way, like with a pin and a post. It's supposed to go like this. And as you can see, we've got a problem going on here. I can get it either in one or the other, but not both at the same time. So I'm thinking what we're probably going to have to do to get this to fit, either one of two things. Either take my hobby knife, and take about half a millimeter, widen that slot a little bit, or rehydrate those connections with extra thin, and let them spread apart. I believe they probably will, and then hope that it sort of sprue goes back together. Now what we don't want to do is glue it into place now, because we don't know at what elevation this thing has to be, so that the piece of photo etch that we're going to be getting shortly will match up with it. Yeah, that's too bad. I guess when I was gluing the parts together, I never thought about that happening. If I had have, I would have used the this part right here as a template, and made sure that I had everything lined up just right, and wasn't gluing things together too narrow, which apparently I have done. But it's not the end of the world. Nobody's going to notice that this isn't quite right if we do it wrong. But I will know. Okay. Just have to think about this for a while now. Okay. Let's see what we got. I guess this is the top. I don't think it makes any difference, actually. Might be easier to open the bottom. It says, keep your gift a surprise. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't our sharps box. This is not our sharps box. I don't know if I should be opening this on camera or not. I really thought it was our sharps box. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is from an outfit called Pebble Creek Models. Now I've seen that name in the comments. Alright, I hope they don't mind if I open it on camera. Keep your gift a surprise. Unwrap your present before opening this envelope. Okay, well let's do that. Yeah, here I thought it was our sharps box. I'm kind of speechless here. Because I was not actually expecting the sharps box until Sunday, the day after tomorrow. Alright, what we've got going on here looks like a set of very fine files. I'll put the macro lens on. Yeah, these are very fine. These are much better than the ones I've been using. Yeah, we'll put the macro lens on and have a close look. And a little pouch to put them in. I don't know if I'm going to use the pouch, but it's nice. Okay, now let's see what the envelope has to say. Keep your gift a surprise. Unwrap your pen before opening this envelope. Okay. Yeah, a gift from Maple Creek Models. Can you read that? Very nice. Chris and Tara. Huh. We enjoy watching your show every day. Chris and Tara. Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Chris and Tara. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's put the macro lens on. Have a close look. I don't think I've ever seen files like this before. They're very fine. Yeah. Let's recompose. Okay, I'm not going to be counting grooves per millimeter or anything like that, or putting them under the microscope. But you should be able to see here, just with the macro lens moved in almost as close as we can get here. This is the old one, and this is the new one. And if you look closely, you should be able to see that this new one is just a little bit more, you might say, a finer mesh, or a finer grain, or however you want to call it. This one is the old one. This one is quite obvious, and this is the new one. Yeah, it'll do a much you might say smoother job. So, yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I'm presently sitting in front of the computer and I'm doing the final edit here. And I'm going to have to call today's episode a day. Yeah, the episode's pretty long. And I got to get out there and clean off my front steps. I might be getting another parcel. I don't want to be getting an email saying we tried to deliver it, but the snow was just too deep. Well, that won't happen yet, but it probably will if I don't start doing something about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.